Here's what it is. It's overworked and underpaid. First, you have to understand that you're overworked. Everybody feels underpaid. And in most cases, you are underpaid. But what it is how underpaid are you for the amount of work that you're doing? That's really the question. Since you've been doing these jobs or sitting at a salaried position, maybe you had increase in responsibilities. Well, if you have an increase in responsibilities, then I could almost guarantee that is definitely a reason to be paid more, which in most cases, a job should give you a raise for that. But it often happens where the employer will take advantage of you and you don't do that. Well, let me ask you this. Is it their fault that you didn't make more money? Yes and no. I'm gonna tell you the yes. One, they know the value that they're getting from you as a contractor or employee or a freelancer. They understand how much they're getting because you decided to do work with them. So they know they can pay you more, or they know if they should pay you less. But in most cases, your pay has stayed the same. The part where it's our fault, and in this case your fault, it is that you didn't speak up. When you got more responsibilities, or you realized that your job was quoted for 20 hours and now it's taking 40 hours, well, first, were you moving too slow, or was it really that amount of work? Or if your 9-to-5 job is no longer 9 to 5, is now 8:30 to 7, 8:30 to 12, like you're working way more than what you thought you would be doing, well, that's definitely the reason you should have spoken up. You can easily say, look, this is what I was contracted to do, but now this is what it is. It has changed. It's up to you to speak for yourself. You have to advocate for what you want. And yes, it's hard because you don't want to just lose the job, but you also have to place value on yourself. If you let people walk over you, they will walk over you. That will stress you out. That will make you feel bad. It will make you upset, which ultimately will affect the work that you do. So just speak up. Just say simply, based on my job responsibilities, based on what this is doing now, can we renegotiate my contract? Can we renegotiate the hourly? Or can we take some of these responsibilities back away? Because you're giving me more, but I'm not getting more for it. So now I feel undervalued. You have the right to say that to a client or an employer. They can't fault you for that, because when they're selling their work that you've just done for them, they're not going, pay me less because I've done more. They will oftentimes try to renegotiate right there, realizing that they have more, but they won't come back to you and say, well, yeah, that job that was $5,000, we got $10,000 for it, so we want to give you some extra. They're not saying that. It's going in their pocket. It's going towards their business goals, which are not yours. So you have to tell them how you feel and what you want. And then they have the right ultimately to say no, which then you can take your talents elsewhere. Feel free to do that. But that's the only way to place value on yourself, is by fighting for what you are doing and your creativity and the amount of work that you're putting in. That in itself speaks volumes. And a lot of times, your employer may not even, or the client may not have even been thinking that things have changed. They may not really know, because they didn't know what you were doing to begin with. They just knew they were paying you to get an end product. Please say something, because it doesn't just help you, it helps every other creative that's gonna walk through that door. It helps every other creative have a different price point that may be higher than yours at this point, because now they're looking at the overall value of work a little bit different where they weren't before. You are setting the tone somewhere else for every other designer, videographer, sound guy that's gonna walk through that door going forward. And that's up to you. Yes, it's been placed on you. It's now your responsibility. Own it, do it, because you would want to be paid more at the next one you go to. This is the thing. What are you gonna do next time that you feel overworked? Are you gonna stop working? You're just gonna get up and walk out? You can do that. Not exactly the smartest thing. Just ask to have a conversation with management or the art director or the creative director or whoever it is. And if you are those people, then you need to go to the person above that so that you can figure out what it is needs to happen to change your rate of pay, your salary, whatever the case may be. But it can happen. But it starts with you. Ultimately starts with you. Doesn't end with you, but it starts with you. It actually ends with the person that you're taking this information to. But you have to be ready for the answer one way or the other, because it may not be what you want to hear. But then you can be ready to walk out. But I will tell you this too. It's easier to find work when you have somebody paying you already, because then you don't have the stress of no income. Keep your options open, but know your worth where you're at. There is a value on you. Every minute, every second, every hour, every day, you have a monetary value for yourself. You may not know what it is, but you do. I promise you, you do. Discover it, own it, and speak it into existence where you're at and get paid. Let's see if we can wrap this up a little bit quicker for those of you who are going to tell somebody else to go to this particular vlog because they need to hear this information. Overworked, underpaid. How do you change that? One, the key is speak up. In case you didn't hear me, let's do it one more time. Speak up. Renegotiate if you feel like the workload has changed. If you're getting more work, you're doing more, you're spending more hours, you're putting more into it, and that's what's being asked of you, not just because you voluntarily did it, then it's time to get paid for what you're doing. Talk to upper management, talk to the person above you, talk to the client, get that change immediately. Like this vlog and subscribe to this channel. It helps me greatly. I hope that you come back. I hope that we can keep doing this together. At this point, if you've been rocking with me, we're family now. I appreciate you. Hopefully you appreciate me. I need you to stay creative, don't get discouraged, and stay mentally clear. Until next time, thank you for rocking with me.